Hello everybody, this is Emery from the Brian Coyle Best Buy Teen Tech Center, and today I'm just making a little video about how to use some of the basic functions of Adobe Lightroom for your phone. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is, if you want to take a photo, which is the main function we'll be covering today, you hit the little blue photo box in the lower right corner, and then from there you'll want to make sure that you have selected the DNG thing at the top. If you click on it, you'll have two options. You'll have the DNG and then the JPEG option. The difference between DNG is that that is a raw photo, which means that it's larger and it'll more accurately display the colors and the image as you would see it in real life, whereas the JPEG is a smaller file size. It is more condensed, so it'll take up less space on your phone or your computer or whatever, but it compresses the image more, so there may be some different irregularities in the image if you save it to that file type. So we're going to want DNG selected. And then we have shutter speed, which is that SS button. And the shutter speed, shutter speed is the length of time that the camera sensor is exposed to light when taking a photo. So if you have a slow shutter speed, then more light is exposed to the sensor, whereas if you have fast shutter speed, it takes the image a lot faster, but it also has less light exposed to it. So now I'm messing with the ISO. So what the ISO does, it messes with the sensor's sensitivity to light. So the higher the ISO number, the more light information will be captured. So you might want to use a higher ISO if you're shooting in low light, so if you're shooting in the dark or you're shooting stars or things like that. So it doesn't change the amount of light like the aperture does or the shutter speed does. It doesn't change the amount of light that gets let into the sensor, it just changes how sensitive the sensor is. So you'll want to turn it up for low light situations, but also turn it down for maybe some highlight situations. Now this next mode that I'm messing with is the manual focus. So as you can see when I first click on it, it's a little out of focus, so you can adjust it to choose the area that is in focus. And if you hit the three circles in that bottom right corner, you can mess with some filters on it to make it black and white or high contrast or things like that, and that can be really interesting as well. Now you can also change the crop ratio on it if you want to change the aspect ratio of your image by hitting that, the little 4:3 right there. There's also some more manual settings, like changing the screen brightness or also saving a copy of the original. And then once you've got the settings the way you like them, you can take your photo, and then you can exit the photo taking app and go to all photos, select the one you took, and now you can do some editing on it. So some of the adjustments you can make, you can always crop it, things like that, but you can also change the light details like the exposure, contrast, things like that, mess with the shadows. There's lots of adjustments you can do to change how your image looks. So I might want it to be more dark on that side, for example. Then you can also mess with stuff like the temperature. You can make it look more warmer, more cold. You can also mess with the white balance if you want. You also add a tint. And then you can change the vibrance and the saturation, which can make the colors more vibrant or more saturated. Or less saturated. And so you can, with the auto white balance, you can select an area to match the white balance of, like I chose this hat there. And then you can change the color mix if you want as well, to make the colors a little different if you'd like. There's a few other settings too, like sharpening or like texture, but those are a little more specific. And then when you're done, you hit the little share button and hit save to device, because it doesn't save it to your gallery automatically. But once you've edited it, you can add it to your gallery. Anywho, those are just some quick overviews of how to get to and how to mess with the functions in Adobe Lightroom for your phone. This is just a brief overview, so we didn't go over all the features, but if you have questions, please ask your supervisor. We can go more in depth. Cisco knows how to use the app really well. So anywho, thank you for watching, and I hope that y'all can take some bomb photos.